Oh, here's Kevin again. This time it's not an army, but trying to make my table look a lot better. I notice that there's a big difference between people who do modeling, which you see at a lot of the big shows, and then just a general wargamer that throws out a battle. I'm more the latter. And this is my attempt at trying to make my table look just a little bit better for my mates. Through one piece at a time. But I really did a lot of figure painting, but I never really focused much on my terrain. So I started building up all of the different Sarissa buildings I had. I started working on all of my fences, hedges, wall sections. You can see all the fences and different things, and really mounting them up on bases, flocking those bases, making them a little bit more easy, I guess, to put on the table. And I never really had that. I just had fences and pieces, and I've been starting to model a lot more. Nice things for different times. These hedges. So like small terrain things. These are more going into Italy. And yes, I have a lot of them. And I had just piles of walls and sections. I've been trying to get through them. I've been through a whole bottle of Mod Podge. Can you believe that? And, building these fences for American Civil War and Revolutionary War, different ones, mounting them up. Painting. I had a lot of stuff from Battle Valor games, these barriers, and you can see I'm making orchards and more fences and fields. I have got a massive project here going on, but it really is not hard. I just been taking a lot of stuff that I've had, painting them, putting them on usable stands that fit on the tabletop, doing some dry brushing and grassing and using all the terrain and stuff. I just never really focused much on it. And I finally decided I wanted to. I wanted to have nice terrain, putting things out, and that's what I've been doing. Instead of painting, I've been just doing lots and lots and lots of terrain. So as I get finished and as the project goes on, I'll just kind of keep adding to it. Hey, this is Kevin. Just thought, over the past couple of weeks, I decided not to paint any more miniatures. I know that sounds sacrilegious, right? But what I've been working on is terrain. Wasn't really happy with the terrain that I have, so I've been really kind of changing things, upgrading things, and trying to do my best. I had so much of this material, but never really did anything with it. So recently I've been building bocages, which, having been in France many times and actually seeing them at Normandy and around the area, I really could make these better based on memory. And so I just cut out, I had some extra wood laying around, cut them out in just nice patterns, and then I just started to put everything that I owned on there in this massive wall of briars and rock, and just almost like a impassable type of wall of bushes. And that's exactly what it is. I was standing there one time at a bocage, and I'm telling you what, it was probably about 12 to 14 feet high and about 7 to 8 feet thick. You couldn't crawl through it if you wanted to. And if you got caught between two bocages and a road and ran into a patrol, well, you were done for. I don't see how people could crawl through them, and you couldn't see through them. You couldn't fight through them. You couldn't do anything through them. That's why they developed the Shermans that could bust through them, or they could be ambushed quite easily on corners, etc., etc. But it took a while to kind of dig through them. So I built probably, and you can see here, I've built probably, I don't know, about 100 of these things to cover the table, and some using rock and other things and briars and trees and everything else. Some short segments and some longer segments. And anyway, that's the bocage sector of what I'm doing. I think they look pretty nice. They look very realistic to me. Some are shorter, some have walls, some don't, some are taller, and I think that it's great. I mean, one of the reasons that I stopped playing Flames of War was because of the bocage. I had moved up a tank to the bocage to use it as a cover on my flank. And the rules said if anybody was on the other side and moved up next to it, and this was all the way down the table, like 3 feet, they could see through it and shoot you. Well, I said, okay, well, those aren't the rules for me. I'm sorry. Whoever developed these things is a bloody idiot. Obviously, they never went to France. They're probably sitting someplace in New Zealand in a wheat field. But anyway, there's my bocages. Okay, here's Kevin again, just kind of doing little segments. I finally finished my North American housing project, or buildings. So I've been kind of on a kick of doing buildings lately. And what's interesting is I've always had a little bit of a trouble having all these like individual buildings, just sitting on the table. They get broken in your boxes and things like that. So I decided to mount them on 40 or 4 inches by 4 inches. So that's don't know what that is in millimeters. I have to calculate it. But anyway, I took these buildings and I made little stands for them, and decorated them with outhouses and bushes and grass and little gardens and things like that, just to be able to put them on the table. They're protected, they look nice. And I did that with all of my buildings. I had so many buildings from Sarissa and other things that were just laying there, never built, never put together. And so I just decided to just go on a building spree. And as you can see here, this is one of the stables. I just crudely painted them. I wasn't trying to be 100% professional, like putting stucco on the outside. And I think that the way that Sarissa builds it is good already. I just painted it and put it in a nice environment and on a protected stand that they can survive. They sit in a nice box, and that way I have my North American buildings already done. I did a little church. Here's the train station. And then I just took every building that I had and put trees around it, put it on the same type of stand so they all fit together very, very nicely. Put some farm animals out on some, you can see, and trees, stone walls, little teeny walkways between buildings when it got muddy. I just tried to make each piece have a little bit of character to it, right? Wood piles in the back and things like that. So I mean, every piece is just unique. There's my big old fat pig out there, which I think is awesome. But you can see I did, made them attractive. Those are my Civil War, Gettysburg buildings. And I just wanted them to be secure, and I can just put them on the table very, very quickly. And you can see down here I did the same. I just took all of the buildings that I had from Sarissa, put them on the same size, 4 inches by 4 inches. They fit together very, very nicely. You can make a nice little village with a road running through it. But yeah, I just really had a lot of fun building these, finally painting them up and kind of making them attractive. I really was never that pleased with my terrain pieces, and I never built a lot that I had, so I think this was good. I even took some balsa wood and I made little bridges out of balsa wood because I on my Freeman's Farm game, I found that I didn't have enough, bridges that were just simple old wooden things, and so I made them very, very crude plank. I made 2 of them. I'll probably make 1 or 2 more, but I think they turned out really, really nicely. Anyway, that's the building project. Now I'm working on the Wild West, so I've got a big project going on with about, 25 buildings for the Wild West. I printed a lot of them out years and years and years ago, but never put them together. So yeah, that's going to be good. Well, anyway, here's the continuation of the terrain project. You see I have these tubs. I marked them with what they are, and I just started building terrain. So these are American split rail fences. I just used balsa wood and cut and built and put them on cardboard strips, and they look very nice. I've built about 100 of them. At this particular point, I decided to build tobacco fields. So I took a mat that you can buy just very cheap at the store. I just cut it up into small strips, mounted it on cardboard, and now voila, I have tobacco fields. And I did the same thing with cornfields, putting the grass on top and building cornfields on strips, which I think really turn out pretty nicely. So you can see over here I've done a lot of stuff building like pillboxes and painting up all the different scatter terrain I had. And I built these split rail fences. They're not split rail, but fence segments. Some more of the American style split rail fence. And so I've been really busy just putting a lot of stuff together, and I've really concentrated on North America because that was probably the worst thing, and now I'm going to jump over to the European segment, but I'm organizing and just spending a little bit of time with the terrain.